Hi everyone, this is Richard, CEO of altFINS. In this trading video, I will cover a simple but powerful trading strategy using moving average crossovers, specifically a 12-day and a 50-day moving average crossover that can identify an early uptrend inflection or a reversal from downtrend to uptrend with abundant of upside potential. And on that list will be Helium, HNT, which we'll also cover. And we'll also cover HNT's or Helium's breakout from ascending triangle and a recent listing on Coinbase. So let's go ahead and dig in. Keep in mind that this video is for informational purposes only, not meant to be financial advice, and do your own research. The strategy that I discussed you can find in a couple of places. You can find it in the signal summary. Let's take a look at where you can find this specific market scan. Under the strategy blocks, there's a number of these preset market scans or strategies, and the one that I'm talking about is the EMA 12/50 crossover. And if you're trading on a daily time interval, then it would be this right here, number 13. So there's 13 assets that currently have a recent bullish EMA 12/50 crossover. Let's take a look at what that means. Now the other place where you can find this before I dig in deeper, the other place is the market highlights. Here we also have a list of some of these preset filters or market scans, except that you can actually already see some of the results. But this is not a complete list of all the strategies, so I encourage you to also check on the signal summary as well. But here it is, fresh bullish EMA crossover as well. And you can get there by clicking on see more. And basically that will again take you to the screener with the scan conditions or filter conditions already pre-applied, and we can now see the results. Now, why EMA 12 over EMA 50? What's an EMA? EMA is an exponential moving average, and EMA 12 means it's an average that's using a 12-day closing prices to create an average. And moving averages are good at identifying, sort of smoothing out the trend in the price, because sometimes there's a lot of volatility, obviously, especially in crypto, and it can be difficult to ascertain what is the real trend in the price. Let's take a look at the charts here, right? Actually, I prefer candlestick charts. And so using the moving day, the moving averages, 12-day moving average and the 50-day moving average can kind of smooth out the trend. And typically the bullish crossover happens when the shorter term moving average, in this case the 12-day moving average, crosses above the longer term and slower moving average, which is the EMA 50, the 50-day moving average. And so as you can see in here, in these charts, you can see that the bright green line is just crossed over the darker green line in the last day or two. So that's the fresh or recent moving average crossovers that we are looking for. And these 12 assets on this page and the following page satisfy this criteria. And typically, a 12-day moving average crossing over a 50-day moving average is an indication of an uptrend beginning. Now let's take a look at the trend tab here. And as you'll see that most of these, with the exception of MX token, most of these are in an uptrend, but only on the short-term basis, while the medium-term basis is neutral and the long-term basis may still be down, right? But the point of this is that some of these could be in an early stage of a trend reversal. As you can see, the short-term trend has already reversed to bullish or up, and perhaps we still have a fair amount of upside in the medium and the long term. So a lot of these are relatively early in their uptrends, which can be positive in that there's still a fair amount of upside. Now, on this list, I'll also, by the way, coincidentally, under the patterns, when I looked at perhaps other clues, I noticed that Helium just yesterday broke through a resistance and broke through it with a pretty big breakout. And this is an indication, obviously a bullish indication that there's something going on here, why it's being bought up. Now, in this case, when I looked at the news, which you can see under the detail section of each coin, under the news, it became very quickly apparent what happened yesterday. It says here the Coinbase exchange has announced that it will be listing Helium to its exchange. So clearly that triggered the buying yesterday or 2 days ago on the 11th. And yesterday the price, or today the price is pulled back, as you can see, down about 10%. Now, I think that that's an opportunity. I think that the market's giving us another shot at this. So not only do we have a bullish moving average crossover, we've also broken above, and you can see it in our technical analysis, broken above a critical resistance zone of $1.50, right? We've just broken above that, and that opens up the way, potentially for price to revisit the next major resistance zone, which is at $2.30. So that's a pretty big potential move from here. So that pullback here, I think, is an interesting situation that I'm actually getting another shot at it after the price spiked up yesterday with a high of $2. Now I can potentially buy it actually at $1.60. So I think that's really interesting. And by the way, for those of you who are not familiar with Helium, it's a very interesting use case actually in terms of just the fundamental use case. I think we may have a description here, what is Helium, but I would summarize it as it's a very unique, massively distributed wireless hotspot and a wireless network globally, although mostly the highest density is in the US, and in fact leveraging that density of hotspots that are basically consist of hundreds of thousands of individuals and companies participating in this network in the US and elsewhere. Connecting these essentially allows Helium to compete with some of the national wireless carriers in the US, like AT&T, T-Mobile. In fact, they have partnered with, I believe, T-Mobile on launching now their own Helium wireless network. So I'll just mention that much, but I think it's a really interesting use case, an actual use case that's different from a number of sort of typical DeFi use cases and others. And so this could also be fundamentally a very interesting reason to get involved here. All right, so I hope this is helpful. Again, primarily what I want you to take away from this is how to use the moving average crossovers as a potential signal for an early uptrend beginning. In terms of the potential exit from this trade, basically you were looking for the opposite. By the way, with this market scan applied, I can also do another thing, which is basically create an alert for it. Say, alert me when this bullish crossover happens. That way I get emails as well as alert notifications on the platform with the list of tokens or list of assets that satisfy this criteria. And I can also reverse that and say, notify me when, for example, if I enter Helium specifically, then I need to create an alert. that will notify me that I need to exit my position when the EMA 12 dips back below EMA 50. So let's go ahead and set that up. So first of all, I want the instrument to be HNT, add that, and also to say that the EMA 12 crosses below EMA 50. Okay, so those are the two conditions. Really just one, the condition, which is EMA 12 crossing below EMA 50, will let me know that I need to exit this trade. And again, I can set an alert, says HNT EMA 1250 sell. All right, everyone. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions or feedback, please email us at invest@altfins.com. Good luck trading.